Hello, I'm Deanna Herron, host of the Deanna Herron podcast show. Have you ever wanted to do something bold, like start a business, write a book, or go for your dream job? This show was created for women just like you who want to be bold, shine bright with grace. My goal is to educate you, inspire you, and empower you with ideas that can transform your life. Be inspired by the Deanna Herron podcast show at deannaherron.net. Hello, this is Deanna Herron, and welcome to the Deanna Herron podcast show. Today is episode 49. I'm super excited to share with you. On today's episode, we will be talking about something that most of us probably don't even think about. So I know that you're on this podcast because you want more for your life, but do you actually have room in your life to receive better? So something for you to think about. Do you actually have the space in your life to receive, or is your life filled with stuff that really isn't serving you? So I'm going to address those today on episode 49. If you haven't had an opportunity to listen to the last podcast series, the series was on gratitude. And you guys, I'm going to tell you, it has been a game changer for my mindset. So if you are someone who is struggling with your mindset, try those last 3 episodes. It can be a game changer for you too. I give you some awesome tips and some things that you can use in your life that can really help to up the ante on your gratitude. So let's get started. So as we're talking about, do you have room in your life to receive more? Basically, what I'm talking about is, what are you tolerating? When you are settling for things in your life that really don't serve you, you're not making space for those things that do. And I have to tell you, this has been an eye-opener to me. There are things that I let go for a little bit, and then all of a sudden I realized, goodness, why am I tolerating this? I need to make a change. And you may be in the same place. You may not realize that you're tolerating things in your environment, in your family, or perhaps even in your career. So tolerating, what does that mean? So I'm huge on definitions, and I just wanted to give you the definition of what tolerating is when I search the web. And it's basically allowing the existence or the occurrence of something that you basically endure or you allow in your life. Have you ever caught yourself saying things like, it's not that bad, or it could be worse? But the real question that I want you to ask yourself is, could it be better? Another question sometimes that we ask ourselves, what am I putting off right now? What am I putting off right now? Or what am I putting up with right now? And again, I want you to follow that with, could it be better? And if the answer is it could be better, then you're probably tolerating. And so tolerations are things that we put up with, that we bear, that we deal with, and we pretend aren't there. And here's the biggest thing I want you to realize is that tolerations, anything that we tolerate in our life, they actually drain your energy and distract you from what matters most. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples of me personally, of some things that I recently realized that I was tolerating. And they're just things that probably seem very insignificant in your life, but you keep putting them off, or you say, it's not that bad, etc. So have you ever heard of Marie Kondo? Most of us have. She's the one that says, when she's organizing things for people in their home, she'll ask the question, does this bring you joy? So I'm going to bring you back to Marie Kondo. Does this bring you joy? So example number one of the things that I realized is every time I pick up my phone and I would look at my emails, that number kept going up, up, up. And it was a little bit of a distraction. And it was kind of that unwritten, underlying thing inside me that knew, oh my gosh, I've got to get to that, but it was not that important. And it may not seem that important to you, but let me tell you, explain the situation. So what happened is I didn't just have junk mail. I didn't just have a mail that I had not read. They needed to be deleted. And that in itself was not a major thing that I was tolerating. But when you add your tolerations, the things that you're tolerating, once they start adding up, it is an energy drainer. And so at the same time, when I noticed that my emails were stacking up, and every time that number went up, I got a little bit more anxious. I realized that there were certain situations where I was tolerating being around people who gossip, and gossip brings your energy down. Okay. So those are two things that I was tolerating. And so then the third thing that I was tolerating, and again, it seems very insignificant, but maybe you can relate to this. I was putting on clothes in my closet and things that I'd had for years and years and years. And I put them on and they don't fit right. And I don't feel good in them. They don't feel right. So why am I tolerating these being in my closet? So it goes back to that question, does this bring you joy? And I had to look at the emails. Does it bring me joy? No, that doesn't bring me joy. It stresses me out. Gossip, does that bring me joy? It doesn't bring me joy. And do the clothes in my closet that don't fit me well, do they bring me joy? Do I enjoy wearing them? And do I feel my best self when I'm wearing them? The answer was no. And you guys, right away, those were three things in my life that I was tolerating without even realizing it. And when you tolerate the small things, you're more likely to tolerate bigger things and more significant things in your life, like someone who doesn't respect you, or someone who um, disrespects you and talks back to you, your children talking back to you. Maybe you go to work and you're not enjoying the career that you're in, whatever that is, you start tolerating more and more things in your life, and it decreases your energy. And so when we are weighed down by these tolerations, there's no energy for creativity, for performance, or even your dreams. So I want you to think about that, because they could be small, seemingly insignificant things in your life that are leading to bigger things, but those tolerations need to be cut. Okay. And so I'm going to give you some examples, because you may not have the things in your life that you're tolerating like the things that were in my life. We all have a different level of tolerating different things. So here's some examples. Are you tolerating comparing yourself to others? Maybe you're tolerating an unhealthy lifestyle, dwelling in your past, being around negative people. Maybe you're tolerating being too future focused, looking to the future for your happiness instead of being happy in the present. Maybe you're tolerating procrastination or busyness, holding grudges. Here's a big one for me. Are you tolerating having a work environment that's unpleasant aesthetically? Like you don't enjoy the way that your work environment looks? Is it cluttered? Does it not bring you happiness and joy? Do you not want to go to that workplace because it's not a pleasant environment? Change it up. Change it up. Are you allowing your past to define you? Maybe you're tolerating excuses, believing in the word perfection, keeping a job that you hate, living paycheck to paycheck, worry, other people's opinion of you, a messy house, disorganization, clients that don't pay on time, employees that show up late, children who talk back to you, clothes that don't fit, putting yourself last. These are just a few of the things that we tolerate. So how can you get rid of these tolerations? And I'm going to tell you that you need to start getting them out of your life as quickly as possible. So the first thing is, I'm going to give you 5 steps. First step is you just need to be aware that toleration is in your life. So acknowledge it. Simply becoming aware and writing it down will bring them front and center into your mind, and you will naturally start eliminating them, fixing them, changing them, growing them, and resolving those things that you have tolerated. So that's step one. Number one is just being aware. Number two, start with the immediate. What I recommend you do is start with something that's simple so that you can check it off your list. If you're tolerating people's opinions, that may be something that's going to take you a little bit longer to get out of your life, to change, to fix. So start with something that you can fix immediately. For me, the thing that I could fix immediately, I can get rid of those clothes or give those clothes away that don't fit me right. Right? So that's a check off your list. So start with the immediate. Number three, step number three is small things matter. And that's what I mean is the small things that are on your list. I'm going to encourage you to make a list. Those small things matter. So start checking off the small things, and eventually you're going to notice a level of freedom. Because what those tolerations are, I want you to think about this. They weigh you down. So I want you to think about having a backpack on your back, and every single thing that you tolerate in your life today, I want you to add 5 pounds to that backpack and go through your life carrying that backpack. So if you have 10 things you're tolerating, you're going around with a backpack that has 50 pounds of unnecessary weight that's draining your energy. And so start with the small things and start checking them off your list. Okay. If you have a job and you're busy and you have kids, don't do your whole list in one day. Okay. But just start checking them off the list. You're going to feel a lot better. Number four, step four is to complete the task. So once you start the task, complete it, because you don't want that undone toleration hanging over your head. That doesn't do you any good. So complete the task. There are some things that you can hire someone to do. So for my emails, I have my assistant go through my emails and she starts deleting all the ones that I don't need. She starts unsubscribing all of the emails that I no longer want, etc. So hire someone. That's a way that you can get through some of the things that you're tolerating. And number five, step five is give yourself credit for doing the small things. Give yourself credit for completing that toleration. You guys, having a more expansive environment invites more expansion in your life. And I'm going to say that again. That's why this is so important. Having a more expansive environment invites more expansion in your life. So as you are releasing these tolerations and working through them, you're going to allow more room for the good things to come in. So make an environment that inspires you and brings you passion. And so if you can ask yourself the simple question, does this bring me joy? Do worrying about other people's opinion bring me joy? Does disorganization bring me joy? Does my health bring me joy? If the answer is no, and you can truly say it could be better, perhaps that's something that you're tolerating that you can start working on. So remember, most importantly, success. And I know you want success. Success is about serving other people. That's the only way that you will be successful in this life. We all have a job, but that job requires us to serve others. And when we are as strong as we can possibly be, and we can rise to our greatness, you guys, we can help others rise to their greatness as well. So it's so important that you release that backpack of all the things that you're tolerating so that you can be free to help others and to serve others. So I hope that this podcast has been a great value to you. You guys, I encourage you to write down your tolerations. I've actually created a worksheet for you. If you want to go to my website, deannaherron.net, and it will be posted in that website under documents. And feel free, it's free. Just feel free to print that out and just do the work that it takes to just list out your tolerations, and one by one start checking those off your list. You will notice an amazing freedom that you have never experienced before. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being a part of this amazing community that has been created through this podcast. Some of the most amazing women that I've ever met, I've met through this podcast. So go to my website at deannaherron.net, download that form, print it off, do the work. And while you're there, if you have not become a part of Deanna's Diamonds, just push on the Facebook icon and I can add you to that group. It's a group of women. I go live, I do trainings in there, and I would love to have you be a part of it. And as always, follow me on Instagram at Deanna Herron, and I'd love to hear from you. I will answer any questions that you have, and I personally answer all of my direct messages. So God bless you. Look forward to talking to you on next Tuesday. Have an amazing week.